We've got Jenna Morton from Moncton Multiples. They got a big sale coming up on April the 8th at the Moncton Coliseum Arena Complex. It's a pretty big sale, as they tell me, and Jenna, maybe you can expand a little bit on that, but certainly you're looking at big numbers and a lot of people.
We are looking at big numbers. This is definitely the biggest sale that we have ever put on. Moncton Multiples has been running consignment sales twice a year since 2009. Started with about 20 families in a church basement. And Saturday, April 8th, we are going to have 180 families, and we have 2 arenas at the Coliseum. Anyone who's been to the sale in the last couple of years since we've moved to the Coliseum, we've usually had 1 arena. So we have reached the point where we are able to do 2 this time. So there's going to be a lot more room to move around. There's going to be a lot more stuff, and it's going to be amazing. It's 50,000 square feet.
That's crazy.
Space.
Yeah, and you talk about just being in one part of the arena. Now you're literally doubling it.
We have doubled our
enough
space.
to double it, which is crazy.
Yeah. 180 families are all going to bring the stuff that their kids aren't using anymore. And we set it up like a thrift store. So it's not like a yard sale where you're going table to table finding little things. Everything is set out, so you need clothes for a girl who's size 2. Well, you go to this rack, this table and this rack, and if you need toys and accessories, they're over here. Everything is laid out. For our regular shoppers, something that's very excited that everyone has been asking for and that we on the organizing committee have been waiting to get to the point that we could do this, is we will actually have an area for the large items, so like strollers, we're taking car seats this time, bed rails, anything that's big and bulky and awkward, extra saucers. You can buy it, pay for it, and we will hold on to it until you come back at the end of the sale. That wasn't something that we could do before. We didn't have the space to do it. So that's something that I know regular shoppers are going to be super excited about.
Well, and double the space now. So now you have the room to do it.
We have the room, and that makes us, as far as we know, the largest in terms of space for a consignment sale this side of Ottawa.
All right, so as far as we know.
As far as we know.
And if not, it'll be next year.
I have not found anyone that takes up more space than we have. And we're pretty much as big as it gets in terms of the number of sellers and the amount of revenue and all that kind of stuff. So if we're not the biggest, we are among the biggest sales this side of Ottawa.
And we were talking about that it's not just locally, it's families from Nova Scotia, it's families from Newfoundland, families from Quebec that are coming here to do all that stuff too. So it's not just local.
5 provinces represented at this sale, so that's pretty amazing for us. We've known the last couple of years that we have a lot of shoppers who will come regularly from PEI, from Nova Scotia, from all over New Brunswick. But we ran a contest. We had a night stay at the 4 Points Sheraton to give away. We ran a contest asking people to tell us where they were coming from. We were blown away by how many people were traveling and how far people were coming. People are coming from Newfoundland. They're coming from Quebec. They're coming from all over the province, all over Nova Scotia. There's someone from my hometown, which is a tiny little dot on the map in Cape Breton, that I don't know, who's driving up here for this sale. I mean, that's a long drive to make for this sale.
It's bigger that you don't know them. If you're,
I know. I'm looking, I'm going, no, I didn't invite you. This is awesome.
So that's just to speak of how the word has gotten out about not just about the sale, but also about Moncton Multiples. Maybe we can rewind a little bit, talk about Moncton Multiples as an organization and now as a nonprofit.
Yes, yeah, we are officially a nonprofit organization on our own. We used to work under the umbrella of the Volunteer Center before we became big enough that we could branch out and actually be a standalone organization. So we have a board of directors, we have an executive committee, and basically our membership is open to anyone who has twins, triplets, or more, although as far as I know, we're still at the twins and triplets. We don't have any quadruplets or quints in there.
More exists, but we'll see.
Well, Moncton Multiples as a group has only really been around since 2008, 2009. So most of our members, their children are 10 years and younger, but we know there are older multiples out there as well, and they are definitely welcome. We have some that are, we know there are some members whose kids are graduating from high school this year, and yeah, we accept pretty much anyone in the southeastern New Brunswick area. We have some members that are in Nova Scotia and PEI as well. There's no group that is formed the way we are in PEI, and the next closest group for Nova Scotia would be in Halifax. We have a lot of people who are in like Amherst, Sackville, not Sackville, Spring Hill. We have a lot of people in Sackville as well, all the way down to Sussex. We have a lot of members up in Miramichi, and it's a free membership, and it's a support group. So it's really, really overwhelming when you first hear those words, that you're going to have multiple children at once. And so one of the biggest things that we can do to help people is just to say, hey, we've been there. ask your questions. You know, when you have those concerns that other people in your life just don't quite understand, here's a place where you can come and ask those questions. You know, we run a Facebook group that's only our membership, only parents and primary caregivers of multiples, and it's a really fantastic supportive group that's very positive. You know, we have lots of people who breastfeed both, you know, twins or triplets. We have bottle feeding. We have people that do both. We have people that do cry it out. We have people that, you know, don't do that. We have people whose kids are now in the school system. And you're asking, okay, do I keep them in the same class? At what point do I split them? You know, how do I talk to the teacher about 2 different sets of homework or 2 different sets of birthday invitations? All that kind of stuff that even a parent who has 2 kids who are close in age, they don't run into exactly those same kind of issues. And another thing that we do in terms of support, you know, we have monthly get-togethers for moms, we have events for dads, we have events for families, and we're able to offer some of those at a discounted rate. You know, if we go to Magic Mountain as a group, we get a group rate and we subsidize that with the money that we raise at the sale.
That's very impressive. I think one of the most impressive things that you mentioned in that was that you have people, it's only been around for almost 10 years now, but you have families that have joined in who have kids who are much older than 10 years now. You're talking about, as you said, kids who are graduating high school, kids who are now adults. You know, it's amazing for me to see the support, not just from the people who are going through it, but the people who've gone through it and now want to pass that information on.
Well, because at every stage of parenting, any parent will tell you every stage is different and there's these different challenges. And when you have 2 kids who are born at the same time, or 3 kids or more, the challenges are a little different and you don't always realize what they're going to be until you're in that mess. And you're like, oh, how do we deal with this? And to have a group that you can go to locally, that's not just, oh, you know, they're going to tell you their experience in a different province or down in the States. It's a local experience. So you can be, oh yeah, this school was really great for dealing with this issue, or this pediatrician was really fantastic with this issue. Those kind of things are gold for a parent to have. And just to have that group of people who've been there before, you know, to have that kind of support. And there is also some support available on April the 8th as well. You have parenting, I can't even read that. Allison Smith's going to be there. That's right, yeah. Parenting coach Allison Smith, she's coming up. And so yeah, this time we have a vendor market. So we have about 20 local businesses that will actually be taking part as well. And one of those is Allison, and she will actually be doing some Q&A seminars with people. She did a session at the Play Cafe in February? I can't even remember.
It was before.
It was not that long ago, but everything melds together when you have young children. But so some people will have known Allison from doing her session at the Play Cafe. She's got another one coming up in, I believe at the end of April it's going to be. We had a snow date, things had to get changed around a little bit there. And she did do a session just for Moncton Multiples as well, and it was really well received. So she's going to be able to do just, yeah, kind of some one-on-one and some little sessions about different topics that are kind of general interest. So yeah, you can come, you can shop, you can get some local merchandise, you can sit and get your parenting questions answered. It's going to be a really fantastic day, and it's really amazing to think of what it takes to pull this together. We have roughly 150 volunteers who are helping us put this sale together, because in the span of 24 hours, we take the Coliseum from bare walls to an entire store and back to bare walls. And so we have 150 volunteers plus our organizing committee. We figure it's somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 volunteer hours to make this happen.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty exciting. And we really love too that it's not just an event for Moncton Multiples. It's open to the public, but we also take donations at the cash. We ask people if they'd like to make a donation. We've given more than $10,000 to the hospital now and purchased some really fantastic chairs for the maternity ward and for the neonatal unit there. And this time around, we're going to take donations for an organization called SMILE. It's a program that's put on by nursing students at UWM, and it's for special needs children. They do some really, really fantastic programming for kids. They get them into the pool and into the gym, and so they need specialized equipment. So we're going to help them with purchasing some of that. And people always ask what happens to the stuff that doesn't sell. And I can tell you that for the last few years, we have partnered with What Kids Need Moncton. And so all the unsold items that our sellers want to donate, because they are able to take them back if they want, but anything people that want to donate, it goes to What Kids Need Moncton. And they usually go away with several vehicles full of stuff for the organization. So we're really excited that we can do these things that help the broader community and not just our community of multiple families.
So everything does get used. You can take that
yes.
you know, that concern away. Nothing's getting thrown away. Everything gets, gets to the right people.
Used, yeah.
Everything goes to the right thing. So more details on Saturday, April the 8th, 9 to 1 at the Moncton Coliseum Arena Complex. $2 to get in, open to the public.
Yes,
so,
it's $2 cash at the door, but we take debit for purchases. And if $2 at the door is a barrier for anyone, then usually between 11 and 12 we waive that fee, and it's free up until 1 o'clock.
All right, so definitely keep that in mind. Be sure to check it out. That's coming up on April the 8th, 9 to 1 at the Moncton Coliseum at Greena Complex. Jenna Morton from the Moncton Multiples, thank you so much for joining us. Where can people, if you're watching right now, just quickly, where can they get in contact with you guys?
The best thing to do is search for Moncton Sale on Facebook, and you'll find us. We've got a Facebook page getting up around 3,000 likes. So there's a lot of great information. We'll give out some tips over the next couple days about different things to keep in mind if you are coming to the sale. We will put out a copy of the layout for those, again, those regular shoppers who want to know. I am going to put it out there. It'll be worked on tonight, so it'll be there soon. And we do have a website as well. You can look up monctonmultiples.com and find information there.
All right, be sure to check it out. Jenna Morton, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.